What's up, Notre Dame fans? Mike Singer from blueandgold.com here. Notre Dame quarterback commit in the 2022 class, Steve Angeli, was in Philadelphia over the weekend for the Elite 11 regional camp. Ryan Snyder of Rivals.com was in attendance and took the following footage of Angeli from this camp. Please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button on this video and subscribe to our Blue and Gold YouTube channel for more content.
Everywhere's in a way, so it's all good. Get out! Good shot, big dog, good shot. Go! Three. There you go. Good job. Good. Go.
That's a good ball. You're right, that's a good point. You know, that's what I love about Ohio State. I only say after
We did it once. It was okay.
I have a bunch of football. Great.
Yeah.
Good. Hit us first, Donovan. Go.
Good shot, good job.
Appreciate you guys sticking around and watching all of Angeli's footage. We're going to go ahead and now play an interview that I had with Rivals.com national recruiting analyst Adam Friedman, who broke down Angeli's game. But, you know, what are some of the traits you see on his film?
Yeah. First off, I love his football instincts. He doesn't make a ton of mistakes. He's not turnover prone, which is obviously a huge deal at any level of football. He's got a big arm. He can certainly throw it a pretty far. He can put it on a line when he needs to. He has pretty good mechanics when it comes to just the way he throws and his throwing motion. I'd love to see a little bit more active feet and making sure he comes to balance before throwing the ball, but that hasn't been a huge impediment to him just yet. He's used to running and throwing outside the pocket, like you mentioned. So I do like that. He's got the ability to kind of ad lib and be a little bit more creative than some guys who are pro style quarterbacks, but are used to just standing back there in the pocket. If you're not watching his film and you don't understand a whole lot about Steve Angeli, you'd assume that he's not a really mobile guy. That's not the case with Steve. He's got some speed to him. He knows how to escape the pocket and get away from defenders. He's not somebody who's going to pick up huge chunks of yards, but he's certainly a guy who's going to move the chains for you and at least create a positive play, nothing negative. That we really don't see a whole lot of that from him.
He's big. He breaks out of sacks. He certainly has functional mobility. I think you see that a lot. Let's talk about a little bit of his high school career, Adam. So he goes into his sophomore season as just picking up Ohio State and Penn State. Not the starter his sophomore season, though. They had a senior returning captain guy, and so they had him start at Bergen Catholic. Steve kind of came in here and there, maybe some packages. And then gets the reins as a junior, only 6 games in New Jersey. So tell us a little bit about, you've been able to see him in person, I know at least once. So what have you kind of seen from him in person, and what are your thoughts about the progression of his career so far? And I think we're both expecting a pretty big jump from junior to senior year too.
Yeah. You kind of hit the nail on the head there on all those things. As a sophomore, we had hoped to see a lot of him. There was a lot of hype about him, but Bergen Catholic had Johnny Langan, a good quarterback in his own right. He signed with Boston College and then ended up at Rutgers and has played for them a decent amount. So, he was a guy who certainly had to earn his way there a little bit. He stepped up this year, and Bergen Catholic certainly had a good year this year. Liked some of the things that we saw from him. We've kind of talked about those a little bit. I would love to see him deliver the ball a little bit more with consistent accuracy. There are times when he's really on the money, and then there are some times when he's really not. I saw him at a camp also back in July, and I enjoyed seeing his physical development from his sophomore year to that summer. And he certainly got bigger. In these clips, you can see he's kind of trimmed up a little bit, which was good to see after seeing him in July. I expect to see a little bit more physical development from him, especially in that lower body, and a little bit more of that foot speed to make sure that he comes to balance before throwing the ball again, and making sure that he's on that right plane when he's again throwing the ball. But we're just more of the on film, it's hard to see sometimes how kids see the defense and move through their progression. We'd like to see that a little bit more from Steve because he's going to need to do that at the college level. There's no doubt about that. So understanding more about him as a passer is what I'm looking for in this, this fall, this summer, this spring, that sort of thing.